Bonjour, this is Sébastien, aka LeMovieBear, and today I'm doing my Oscar predictions. At this point, it's very early in the Oscar season, so nobody knows exactly who will be nominated. So it is a guessing game, so your guess is as good as mine. Still, I did some research and we do have some movies that came out either in theaters or at festivals. So it gives us an indication. But again, this is still early in the season. There's no guarantee. First of all, I'm going to start with Best Picture. For my Best Picture lineup, I have Digger, The Odyssey, La Bola Negra, Project Hail Mary, Wild Horse 9, Fiar, The Invite, Dune Part 3, Elsinore, and The Debut. My number one so far is Digger. Digger is the newest movie by Alejandro González Iñárritu, and since that director has received a few Best Picture nominations, that's the reason why I chose him as number one. Plus, Tom Cruise is in that movie, and there's a lot of buzz about his performance. Iñárritu has directed Oscar-nominated or winning movies like Birdman, who won the Best Picture Oscar. There's also The Revenant, as well as Babel. This is the movie that I have chosen to put for my number one. The second movie, which has a really good chance of being nominated, it's The Odyssey. The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan actually came out recently. It had great box office numbers for its first week, as well as great comments by critics and by audience members. At this point, we can't really see if there are movies that will be certainly nominated, but The Odyssey is a very strong candidate. I would be surprised if it didn't receive a Best Picture nomination. At number 3, I have La Bola Negra. La Bola Negra was the biggest hit coming out from Cannes, and the comments from the audience and the critics are phenomenal. Apparently, it's a big production, and since the Academy tends to nominate a few international pictures, La Bola Negra would fit that profile. At number 4, I'm choosing Project Hail Mary. Again, this is a movie that came out in March, and it's a movie that was really liked by critics and audiences. I personally really enjoyed the movie, and chances are that it will be nominated for Best Picture. The directors are not really known. Again, it is a blockbuster like The Odyssey, so who knows if they will nominate both of them. But right now, I believe that it has a very strong chance of being nominated. At number 5, I have Wild Horse 9. Wild Horse 9 is the newest movie directed by Martin McDonagh. Martin McDonagh directed The Banshees of Inisherin, as well as 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. The movie has a great cast. It'll probably be a dark comedy, and the Academy tends to enjoy these movies. The Banshees of Inisherin received a Best Picture nomination, and Martin McDonagh seems to be on a rise. So right now, I think that he has a good chance of being nominated. At number 6, I have Fior, the movie that won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. Winning the Palme d'Or is a good sign to receive a Best Picture nomination. 4 of the last 6 Palme winners were nominated for an Oscar, and 2 of them actually won. You have Parasite and Anora that won, and you also have Anatomy of a Fall and Triangle of Sadness were also nominated. Last year, Palme d'Or winner did not get a nomination for Best Picture. So since it won the Palme d'Or, I am putting it in my lineup. At number 7, I have The Invite. The Invite is a great movie. I really enjoyed it. The audience and the critics also really enjoyed it. And it made, for an independent movie, it made about 20 million so far. So this is good. Because of the strong performances, I think the actor will push it towards a Best Picture nomination. Number 8 is Dune Part 3. I am a bit skeptical because the second movie didn't do as well as the first one. The first one got 10 nominations, the second one got 5. So it will be tough for the movie to get a nomination. But still, at this point, I'm going to keep it as my number 8. But I'm not too confident with that movie. At this point, it is a safe bet. Number 9, I'm going with Elsinore. Elsinore is a British film that's getting a lot of great buzz. Andrew Scott is supposed to be amazing in the movie. It will be playing at numerous festivals this fall. So I think that word of mouth will be strong. And it's a movie that talks about the actor Ian Charleston, who was in Chariot of Fire, which won Best Picture. The Academy likes movies about Hollywood. And this movie could get in. The movie also features Olivia Colman, and she's one of my favorite actors. So far, I'm taking a chance. And my last movie at number 10 is The Debut. The Debut is directed by Jesse Eisenberg, and it has a great cast. There's Julianne Moore, Paul Giamatti, and Bernadette Peters. His last movie, A Real Pain, came very close to a nomination. So I'm putting it in my 10 right now. Other movies that could break in the Best Picture lineup. At number 11, I've got Ink. Previously, Ink was reported to come out in 2027. So I had removed it from my lineup. Since we got news that it's going to open the Venice Film Festival and it will be playing at the Toronto International Film Festival, I have decided to put it back in, and I think it has a good chance of being nominated. The movie is about media mogul Rupert Murdoch, and the Academy tends to like movies that are about journalism. Citizen Kane was nominated for Best Picture a long time ago. All the President's Men got a nomination, and Spotlight won the Oscar for Best Picture. There's also The Post that was nominated, and there's a few other movies. The subject matter might be interesting and could give it a nomination for Best Picture. Prior to July, I had Behemoth in my top 10, but I have moved it down since I saw the trailer. I was a bit disappointed with the trailer. The movie is about a musician played by Pedro Pascal. At number 13, we have another Cannes movie that got great reviews and great word of mouth. All of a Sudden, as I mentioned, was the second movie that received the most buzz after Cannes. And again, it is a foreign movie. With the Academy having more foreign members, there's a chance that it will get a nomination. At number 14, I have I Play Rocky. This is the newest movie by Peter Farrelly, who directed Green Book. And Green Book won Best Picture. Again, a movie about Hollywood, about Rocky. I think it's going to be a crowd pleaser. I think it could place in the top 3 at the Toronto International Film Festival for the People's Choice Award. So I'm putting this high because it could have a chance at getting a nomination. Being Human, it's the latest movie directed by Sean Hayter, who directed Coda, and again, Coda won Best Picture. It's a movie that talks about disability, and it's about a real life trial. So biopics tend to get nominations, or at least it's in the conversation. The Social Reckoning, it's the follow-up to The Social Network, which was directed by David Fincher, but this time the movie is directed by Aaron Sorkin, who actually wrote the screenplay for The Social Network. But Sorkin's movies tend to get nominations for the acting awards, less for the Best Picture awards. But still, at number 17, I have Obsession. Although Gen X seems to love that movie, personally, I didn't really enjoy it. I do not believe the big buzz. Yes, it will get nominations by various critics groups, but still, I don't think that the Academy will follow. I'm just not feeling it. After that, I had Disclosure Day. At first, when I saw Disclosure Day, and since it's a Steven Spielberg movie, I said, yes, it could get a nomination. But the box office was a bit disappointed, and the reviews from critics and audience members are not as strong. So I don't think it will get a nomination, but still, it's Steven Spielberg, so we never know. I've also included other movies that I think could have potential to receive a nomination. I'm not going to go through them right now because I don't feel them as much, but these ones are the ones that I think has a possibility of getting a Best Picture nomination. For my Best Director lineup, I have Alejandro González Iñárritu for Digger, Christopher Nolan for The Odyssey, Martin McDonagh for Wild Horse 9, Javier Ambrosi and Javier Calvo for La Bola Negra, and Christian Mungiu for Fjord. For Best Director, at number 1, I've included Iñárritu. Since I have Digger for Best Picture, it only makes sense that I have his director at the number 1 spot. Plus, Iñárritu did win 2 Oscars for Best Director for Birdman and The Revenant. Number 2, I have Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan won for Oppenheimer. He was also nominated previously for Dunkirk. Since The Odyssey is doing very well right now, I'm pretty sure that it will get a Best Director nomination. At number 3, I have Martin McDonagh for Wild Horse 9. As I stated previously in this video, it seems that with every film he gets more nominations. Therefore, I think it's going to be his turn to get nominated for Best Director. Number 4, I have The Javis. At number 4, I have The Javis, as they're known, for La Bola Negra. Again, I think the movie is very strong and should get a Best Director nomination for these two Javier. Number 5, I have Christian Mungiu for Fjord. Apparently, comments following the Cannes premiere said that his direction was very good, so I've included him in my top 5. Other directors that have a chance of getting a nomination, we have Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 3. He did not get a nomination for the first 2 Dune movies, so I don't think he's going to get a nomination. The third installment of the Dune series could be like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, where it got numerous nominations. So it could be the same thing, so who knows. After that, I've put the duo for the Project Hail Mary, but there's a lot of blockbusters. I don't know if they will be nominated. They're newcomers as well. At number 8, I have Olivia Wilde, who did a very good job for The Invite. I believe she has the strongest possibility of a female director to receive a nomination. And the movie is simply phenomenal. So hopefully she will get a nomination. I've included Simon Stone for Elsinore because I think that movie has a good chance of getting a lot of top category nominations. Number 10, I have Jesse Eisenberg for The Debut. He's never been nominated. He did receive a nomination for Best Actor and Best Screenplay, but eventually he will get nominated for Best Director. I don't know if this year will be his. At number 11, I have Danny Boyle for Inc., who previously won for Slumdog Millionaire. And then I have the rest of the possibilities. For Best Actor, my lineup is Tom Cruise for Digger, Andrew Scott for Elsinore, Ryan Gosling for Project Hail Mary, Matt Damon for The Odyssey, and John Malkovich for Wild Horse 9. At number 1, I have Tom Cruise. This year, it could be his year. He's very good in the trailer. It's a comedic performance. Tom Cruise has received 3 acting nominations so far. And I think this year it could be his turn to receive the Oscar. Andrew Scott for Elsinore is getting great word of mouth. The few people that have seen the movie has mentioned that it's a very strong performance. He came close to receiving nominations before. I believe that this year he could be among the top 5. At number 3, I have Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling also received 3 acting nominations. His performance was good. It was very emotional with a touch of humor. I really believed in his performance. And for number 4, I have Matt Damon in The Odyssey. Great performance again, especially in the second half of the movie. He also has 3 acting nominations. He did win an Oscar for his screenplay for Good Will Hunting. But for acting, he's got 3 acting nominations. And his performance is strong, so I believe he will be nominated. And for number 5, I have John Malkovich, who has 2 previous nominations. Movies from Martin McDonagh, they get a lot of acting nomination. He's in my top 5 so far. Pedro Pascal was previously in my top 5 for Behemoth, but I have moved him down since I saw the trailer. I'm just not as confident in his chance. But again, this is early in the season, so who knows? At number 7, I've got Sebastian Stan in Fjord. Right now, the Oscar lineup is really packed, so it's difficult to choose only 5. So I've left him out for now. Rami Malek received good buzz from Cannes. He's also playing someone who's dying of AIDS. There was good buzz at Sundance for John Turturro's performance in The Only Living Pickpocket in New York. So I've included him as well. He has never received a nomination. At number 10, I have Anthony Ippolito in I Play Rocky. Again, if the movie is a success at TIFF, he could go along and get a nomination for Best Actor. At number 11, I have Sam Rockwell for Wild Horse 9. Apparently, in Wild Horse 9, both Sam Rockwell and John Malkovich are leads. But I think that one of them will go supporting. Same thing that happened when Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell were in The Banshees of Inisherin. One was lead and the other one was supporting. So I think that Sam Rockwell will go supporting, but I still included him in the lead actor just in case. Javier Bardem has received a great buzz from Cannes. I wish I could choose 10, but you can only choose 5. Seth Rogen's performance in The Invite was good, but I don't think it's strong enough. Robert Aramayo in I Swear gave a great performance. He won the BAFTA for his performance. He is eligible this year for the Oscars because his performance opened after January. But since he won last year, I don't know if they will remember him. Then we have other actors that could get a nomination. At number 20, I've got Jafar Jackson for Michael. Although the movie was not the best, he did give a good performance. But I think he'll be remembered at the Golden Globe, but not for the Oscar. For my best actress predictions, I have Julianne Moore for The Debut, Renate Reinsve for Fjord, Mikey Madison for The Social Reckoning, Emily Blunt for Disclosure Day, and Cynthia Erivo for Prima Facie. For Best Actress, at number 1, I have Julianne Moore from The Debut. She seems good in the trailer, and it is Julianne Moore. She always gives great performances. She also has 5 nominations and 1 win for Still Alice. At number 2, I have Renate Reinsve for Fjord. Apparently, she gives a very strong performance in the movie. Number 3, I have Mikey Madison, previous winner, for The Social Reckoning. Actors from Aaron Sorkin's movies tend to get nominations, so I've included her. Number 4, I have Cynthia Erivo for Prima Facie. It is based on the play. And Jodie Comer won the Tony for her performance. Cynthia Erivo is an amazing actress, so I'm putting her in my lineup right now. Number 5, for number 6, Ruth Mandalay is a newcomer. The Academy likes to nominate newcomer, especially in the Best Actress lineup. She is an actor with disability that's playing a disability activist, so that could be a great role for her. At number 7, I have Indy Navarrete for Obsession. Again, as I mentioned, I'm not feeling it, but I've still put her at number 7 because she has a lot of buzz. Number 8, a great performance by Olivia Wilde for The Invite. Could give her a chance. Then we have 2 performances from Sandra Hüller for Fatherland and Rose. Great performances according to people that saw both movies, but the race is very tight right now, so I don't know which one of her performance would stand out. So I've put her at number 9 and number 10. Virginie Efira for All of a Sudden, who won Best Actress at Cannes with her co-star Tao Okamoto. Then I have Daisy Edgar-Jones for Sense and Sensibility, but I do not know that another adaptation of that movie is necessary. Then I have a few other names of actresses that have received great buzz so far, so who knows? For Best Supporting Actor, I have Paul Giamatti for The Debut, John Goodman for Digger, Sam Rockwell for Wild Horse 9, Edward Norton for The Invite, and Guy Pearce for Ink. For number 1, I have Paul Giamatti for The Debut. In my opinion, he is due for an Oscar, and this year it could be his. It seems like a meaty role in the trailer. Plus, Kieran Culkin won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for a Jesse Eisenberg movie. So maybe Paul Giamatti will follow suit. Number 2, I have John Goodman for Digger. It seems like a very good comedic performance in the trailer. Number 3, I have Sam Rockwell for Wild Horse 9. As I mentioned, even though his role is apparently a lead, he could be pushed in the supporting race. Number 4, I have Edward Norton for The Invite, who gives an amazing performance. I have Guy Pearce for Inc. He's playing Rupert Murdoch. That role looks like an Oscar bait one. Number 6, I have John Leguizamo for The Odyssey, which I thought was phenomenal. He did a really good job, and I would like him to be nominated. Number 7, I have Mark Ruffalo for Being Human. He's one of my favorite actors. He's been nominated 4 times previously, and he always gives a good performance. At number 8, I've got Jeremy Strong, who's playing Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Reckoning. Jesse Eisenberg did receive a Best Actor nomination for the same role. Number 9, I have Steve Buscemi from Wild Horse 9. Martin McDonagh movies tend to receive a lot of nominations for its cast, so he's also in the conversation. Number 10, I have Riz Ahmed for Digger. In the trailer, it doesn't seem like he's standing out. I think that John Goodman will steal the movie for the Best Supporting Actors. Number 11, I have Guitar de la Fuente in La Boda Negra. Apparently, he's great in the movie. For number 12, I have Channing Tatum for Josephine. Apparently, he's good in the movie. Coleman Domingo for Michael give a good performance, but I don't know if the movie will be strong enough to get nominations. For Best Supporting Actress, my top 5 is Anne Hathaway for The Odyssey, Mariana Di Girolamo for Wild Horse 9, Penelope Cruz for The Invite, Penelope Cruz for La Boda Negra, and Olivia Colman for Elsinore. Anne Hathaway gives a very heartfelt performance in The Odyssey. She has a great chance of being nominated. Wild Horse 9 will probably get great performances, and I have included the supporting actress. I have double nominations for Penelope Cruz. Starting this year, actors can get multiple nominations in the same category. I believe that Penelope Cruz has a chance of receiving 2 nominations this year. She was amazing in The Invite, and apparently her role in La Boda Negra, although it's a short performance, she's there for 10 minutes apparently, but she's a standout in the movie. Olivia Colman is a great actress, and since I have faith in Elsinore, I'm putting her in my top 5. Other possibilities could be Sandra Hüller in Digger, or she could also get a nomination in Project Hail Mary, but I think that her role in Project Hail Mary is too small. It is a good performance though. Maybe in Digger she has a bigger role. Tao Okamoto received the Cannes Actress Award for All of a Sudden. Samantha Morton in The Odyssey only has 1 scene, but it's a strong performance, and the buzz is very good right now, so who knows? Lola Dueñas in La Boda Negra. Apparently her performance is great, and it's longer than the one that Penelope Cruz has. Bernadette Peters in The Debut. She's a great actress. She never received a nomination before. The Debut has a great cast, and she could follow suit and get a nomination as well. I also have other actresses, as you can see, that could get nominations. For Best Adapted Screenplay, my predictions are La Boda Negra, The Invite, Project Hail Mary, The Odyssey, and Inc. For Best Original Screenplay, my predictions are Wild Horse 9, Digger, Fjord, The Debut, and Elsinore. For Best Animated Feature, my predictions are Toy Story 5, Wildwood, Ray Gun, Shaun the Sheep, the Beast of Mossy Bottom, and Tangles. I think that Toy Story 5 has the strongest chance of being nominated. I was skeptical of having another Toy Story. I think that after 4, that was enough. But once I've seen the 5th one, I was charmed. It's interesting because it talks about regular toys versus technology. They brought the series in a different direction, and I enjoyed it. Wildwood is getting good buzz. Ray Gun is directed by Brad Bird, who's a big name in animations, and he has a lot of his movies were nominated for Best Animated Feature. Then I have Shaun the Sheep, which is a stop motion movie. It's from the same team that gave us other Shaun the Sheep movies, as well as the Wallace and Gromit series, and they have been successful in this category. Tangles got great comments when it played at Cannes and at the Annecy Animation Film Festival. Then Hoppers I thought was a very cute movie. Iron Boy got great buzz at Annecy. The Violinist won the Annecy Cristal for Best Feature. For the technical categories, I'm not going to comment on the movies that I have predicted. I'm just going to tell you which one I have chosen so far. For Best International Film Feature, my predictions are La Bola Negra, Fiar, All of a Sudden, Coward, and Minotaur. For Best Casting, my predictions are La Bola Negra, Wild Horse 9, Digger, The Odyssey, and The Debut. For Best Cinematography, my predictions are The Odyssey, Digger, Fatherland, La Bola Negra, and Project Hail Mary. For Best Costume, my predictions are The Odyssey, La Bola Negra, Wuthering Heights, Werewolf, and Digger. For Best Film Editing, my predictions are The Odyssey, Project Hail Mary, Digger, Wild Horse 9, and La Bola Negra. For Best Makeup and Hairstylist, my predictions are Digger, The Odyssey, Werewolf, Dune Part 3, and Michael. For Best Production Design, my predictions are The Odyssey, Digger, Project Hail Mary, La Bola Negra, and Werewolf. For Best Original Score, my predictions are The Odyssey, Disclosure Day, Wild Horse 9, Behemoth, and Digger. For Best Original Song, my predictions are Toy Story 5, I Knew It, I Knew You, The Devil Wears Prada 2, Shape of a Woman, The Crystal Planet, Somewhere We All Belong, The Debut, and La Bola Negra, La Playa. For Best Sound, my predictions are Dune Part 3, The Odyssey, Behemoth, Project Hail Mary, and Disclosure Day. And for visual effects, my predictions are Dune Part 3, Avengers Doomsday, Project Hail Mary, The Odyssey, and Disclosure Day. So these are my Oscar predictions, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe in order to be informed on new content that will be included on my channel. Merci!